Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Checkmate. It's the Rayjet Laser Design Challenge with me, your host, Don. Again, Don to E8. That's a chess joke. Haha. It's topical. I'm back once again with the... Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, didn't put part one, man.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What I mean?
It's a two-parter.
Yeah,
well, it is indeed. But
it's a two-part special, and for some reason, it says chessboard, but then,
Listen, that was going to be a surprise. Surprise, everyone.
Yeah, surprise. Yes.
Checkmate. This week, for the first time in the history of the Design Challenge, we're going to try and do something a little bit special and do a two-parter. So we're going to tackle the first half of a custom chess set this week with Miguel and Amy focusing on the board or something to do with the board. And then next week, we're going to look at the individual pieces of the set. This is something that I think is a really cool application, and I'd be excited to hear what you guys think about doing these sort of more involved kind of two-parter ideas. So definitely let us know. As you're tuning in, I mean, hello to everyone watching in chat. Definitely say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. As always, we're very excited to have you here. Producer Lev is in the back. He'll be joining us shortly, I have no doubt. But for the meantime, I want to introduce the very talented Miguel Machado. How are you, man? Doing good.
Yes. A little tired today. Not with the same energy, but the project today is going to be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
This time I came prepared. I actually came prepared. Not prepared like last time with the 12, but prepared for real.
Prepared.
Yeah, prepared. But yeah, and it's gonna be cool because I can put my nerdy things out there, right? I love chess. I love D&D. Unfortunately, I haven't had that many hours to play chess because I'm too busy playing World of Warcraft. But besides that, yeah, I'm gonna do a D&D chessboard.
My understanding is that over the summer this year, chess became huge on Twitch. So what I'm expecting today is
True.
I mean, a huge increase in followers and likes and internet. Amy, how are you? Very happy having you back.
I'm doing
Good.
great.
You mentioned, I mean, I know Miguel and I are coming to this a little bit tired. We've been sort of burning the candle at both ends, but you always seem like prepared and on the ball, on point. Thank goodness one of us.
Good thing John is not here to make a joke out of that.
Yeah. I have to ask, I haven't heard anything from you in terms of exactly what you were going to do for the application today. Do you want to let us know kind of what you had in mind? I mean,
I'll be doing a chessboard.
Yeah,
I'll be doing a chessboard, and then I'll be doing Alice in Wonderland themed.
Oh,
see,
cool.
She's trying to one-up me, man. Like, I can't deal with that.
It's not her fault if her ideas are cool. That's not her fault.
In the public domain.
Absolutely, exactly. I am also a big chess fan. Fausto, thank you so much for watching. Hello in Mexico City. We're excited too. I think we are probably going to get going here pretty soon. Unfortunately, we did not get to promote this in advance on Instagram, Miguel, just so you know. That was a bit of, I want to take full responsibility for that ahead of time. That is completely my bad. Miguel just messaged me in the back end chat saying, did we promote this on Instagram? And I said, no. I'm sorry.
Okay, so might as well like put in the comments, right? Like if we're gonna put our private chat out there.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, LaserTech Botswana. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in once again this week. Again, you guys.
In Portuguese too, a lot.
This is one that this is an application I think that is kind of a really cool. I mean, if you've been waiting for a good time to jump in and try the challenge yourself at home, I think a custom chess set, even if you only end up making one or two pieces, is a really cool one. Because obviously between Alice in Wonderland for Amy and D&D for Miguel, I mean, we'll get into it here in a second. You guys can see in more detail, but I think this is a really cool sort of canvas on which to try and find a way to express something individual and kind of like unique to you. So I hope people try this out, man. I'm excited to see the chess sets that people make at home on Instagram.
And I also want to see a chessboard of Command and Conquer next week with John. I don't know if he's going to be here, but if he is, I'm excited to see that as well.
I'll send him the link specifically. I don't know if he knows, but I know where he works.
That's totally not a
Yes,
threat.
let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's make this real.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Miguel, you want to share your screen?
No, actually, I don't. So, for this challenge specifically, we had to do a lot of complicated engravings. And for that reason, it would take much more than 1 hour, right? But I tried to be as natural as I could. So I only started engraving and cutting this morning. Actually, like a couple minutes ago. I'm just like I'm gonna put it for the camera. We're just talking,
He's got it on the stream.
Our
You can see
producer
his
is
hand
trying to
literally
get
like,
ahead of us.
gimme.
So yeah, because of that, it took like roughly 40 minutes to engrave and cut everything before the challenge, right? And I kind of only got one shot, so I tried to keep that in mind. But this is the board, the first part of the board. So you guys know, I'm gonna do 2 layers, right? Yeah, put that in front of the mirrorless. I don't know if the quality is that good, but yeah, just like a dragon, and there's a couple of engravings there, cool engravings outside. All OC, original content. I made that myself. I didn't steal that from
Do
anybody.
not steal.
Yeah, do not steal my intellectual property there. Okay, and I also had a time cut and engrave a couple of the corners that I'm gonna put it there. So for those who know what D&D is, this is a beholder, right? For those who doesn't know what D&D is. And I cut 4 of those bad boys, right, that we're gonna put in the corners. What are you doing?
Monster with this many eyes, and it's still
Trying to
can't
focus,
see it.
right? Yeah, it's focus on the Rayjet.
Maybe if you put your hand behind it, maybe it'll
Dun,
focus.
dun,
a bit better.
dun.
There we go.
There we go.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
there we go.
beholder is so cool.
Also, the engraving looks like that because we were doing that on a cedar veneer.
Mhm.
So the grain of the wood is like that. So it kind of got like that. I had to find a good wood that was like medium color because next week we're going to do the chess pieces. So one side has to be, darker than the other. So I went to find something in between. Right?
The beholder is kind of like a classic D&D monster too, right? That's been around since. Forever.
I believe it's since the first edition, but what is a beholder? It's a floating eye with multiple eyes, and each eye has a different ability. And
Yeah.
you actually want me to geek out here, Lev? I know you're doing that to just like expose me, but yeah, exactly.
Like a high school bully.
So I did 4 of those, right? We're gonna put that
beholders?
we're gonna put that on the corners of the second layer. Now we go to the file. Let me share my screen here.
Drake 44, hello. Ratna also, thank you so much for tuning in again this week. We're so happy to have you back.
All right. So it looks weird because it is weird. Right? I wanted to do this on the Rayjet, so I had to be creative with it. The second layer has to be a little bit, broader and longer. So this is 14 and a half by 14 and a half, and you cannot cut 14 and a half because the Rayjet is 18 by 12 inches. So I cut it in half, right? And for that reason, I'm gonna glue on a second layer, right? The first one that I made it before the stream. But here are the files, right? So you guys can see all the vectors, the beholders that I cut. This is all done this morning, okay? And yeah, I'm gonna do this twice during the stream while Amy shows you her Alice in Wonderland engraving and cutting. And let's see if we can make this work, have a complete chessboard by the end of the stream.
That'd be really cool, man. I think the design looks really cool, by the way. I just wanted to ask, so you're making a separate, like out of that, I'm gonna swap around here. So out of this outer piece that we can see on the stream right now, you're gonna make a separate piece that's gonna sit around the border of your current board that you have cut out?
Yes, so see those corners? They're really weird. Yeah, the beholders are gonna sit here because I was trying to lazily find a way to fix that instead of actually creating a cool pattern that goes around. I was like, okay, you know what? I want to put something on top just to cover that. Why not put something from D&D, like a beholder?
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
So the pink part here is a deeper engraving in the red and the black. So the black will be much more surface level, and the pink will be way deeper. right? And then we're gonna cut here 2 pieces, put them together, glue the top part to the bottom part, and then put the beholders and wait for next week when I do the chess pieces.
Awesome. Very cool. I'm going to swap back over to Amy's screen then, because I'm curious to see if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so on a slightly different note, second verse, same as the first. I have to say, this does immediately scream Alice in Wonderland to me. But
I thought you were gonna say screams at me, but I was like, yeah, you're right.
I mean, for sure, yeah. But I mean, the thing for me though is it's like you've clearly chosen kind of the like very classic like sort of Lewis Carroll. Is it Lewis Carroll?
Yes, Lewis Carroll. Yeah.
Well, it sort of reminds me more of the the imagery I associate with kind of classic Alice in Wonderland as opposed to the sort of cleaned up Disney version of it.
Yeah.
I
Definitely went for the Lewis Carroll version, then more of the Disney vibe version of it. Except for maybe the text, I'd say that's very Tim Burton-y.
It is very Tim Burton-y. But
I was actually quite inspired from a lot of like artists on Instagram, so here we are.
That's really
I had to
cool.
prep a little bit.
Are you gonna do that on 18 by 12?
Be doing it on this. Stores are actually closed in the UK right now, so I've just had to use a chopping board. So I'll be using this today.
I actually think that's going to probably come out nice, to be honest.
Yeah, if I was gonna use something thicker, I would probably, just do the engraving. But we have to use our materials, to keep it up.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that like Miguel's, like the veneered wood that Miguel's using is only 3 mil thick, whereas that chopping board that he's using looks large enough to like subdue a home intruder. Have you done any test engraving on it at all? Do you have any sort of idea in terms of settings, or are you just like?
I've used chopping boards in the past, but this is a different one, so it'll be interesting to see the outcome.
Wow, I respect that. That's very cool.
What about the elements? Like, did you pick that up from online, or did you make it yourself?
Oh no, it's just something I bought online. It's just something from Amazon.
Oh, but I think he means like the design around the edge of the board.
Yep.
Oh, the edge of the board. No, I illustrated some of these, and some of them are just like vector images I found online.
Very
the
cool.
text is just from a website. The key and the flowers are rested just from what I've drawn.
Do you have like a particular attachment to Alice in Wonderland in particular?
Not particularly. My dad did want to call me Alice at one point when I was before I was born.
I think that counts. I was going to say, I seem to recall you referring me to a really cool artist with a laser online on Instagram that did some amazing Alice in Wonderland pieces.
Yes, Tree-Top Treasures. Check her out on Instagram.
I was just going to pull it up.
Do a lot of free ads here. Like, it just...
Hey,
other artists.
If you've got a laser, I think I'm going to show you some guys some cool stuff on Etsy in terms of the type of prices that you can offer if you were to make a custom chess set and offer it for sale. But thank you, Lev, you beat me to it. But also, if you have a laser, I think one of the best ways to get inspired is to look on Instagram, because Amy and Miguel both, Lev, of course, they've all shown me artists on Instagram that have changed the way that I think about approaching, lasers. If you haven't seen our recent laser jam session with Kuma Crafts, the stuff she makes, I know we shout her out a lot. The stuff she makes is unbelievable. We showed a few more in the stream last week.
Oh yeah, she showed us that.
Yes, the Alice in Wonderland piece that,
True. That's pretty cool, man.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like I seem to recall Amy specifically shouting out Tree-Top Treasures as a very very cool artist, and coincidentally making their own.
And she owns a Rayjet as well. All that you probably see there on Instagram, it's done on a Rayjet.
What?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh no, you guys!
Yeah, man, with time and effort, you can make some cool stuff, like my D&D chessboard.
Like the D&D chessboard. I'm hoping. Oh, Jason, hello. I'm sorry, I just saw your message pop up. Welcome back. So happy to have you. we want you guys to know. So recently, last week, we had Johnny on from Trotec UK, and we're hoping to have him back soon. He was a ton of fun, and a huge shout out to Johnny. Thank you again for coming on. That was so much fun. We've got some stuff planned here as we get towards the holiday season. I mean, obviously there's some things going on in the world right now that are sort of a bit of a downer. But at the same time, we are staying as positive as we can. Amy and Miguel are both an excellent example of using the things around you to make cool art with your laser. Amy is about to turn a chopping board into a chess set, and I think that is pretty darn cool. So I have to ask though, you guys, when you approach the chess set in particular, maybe I'll go to Miguel first. I know you were talking about D&D right from the outset, but like, what is it about the chessboard that you think makes it like a cool application, or what was it that got you going D&D right from the outset? Is it just sort of the theme, or like, what inspired you?
There's a lot of room to customize a chessboard, right? So right from the get-go, you can change the squares, right? It doesn't need to be black and white. It can be white or like blank with something else, which is what I did. Right? It's actually upside down. So yeah, so like two dragons facing each other with like some ornaments and stuff, let me hit this on the Rayjet so it starts working, because it's gonna be half an hour for each side. So there we go.
Wow.
Exactly. Or challenge. And if I mess this up, I cannot make it. And
thank you, Lou.
Okay, let me just. All right, I'm gonna set it and go. Okay, so half an hour for this one.
I'm really excited, you guys. I think this is a really cool. There's here, I will throw up the banner again really quick. I know we sort of have it on and off, but there's a bit.ly link here in the banner that's scrolling across the screen right now. Because we're doing this as the first sort of two-part challenge we've ever done, I want you guys, if there's something that pops to mind as you're watching this that you think like, oh, I thought about suggesting this before, but it seemed like maybe it was too much to do in 1 hour, or, whatever it might be, definitely send it to the bit.ly/laser challenge link you see there in the bottom of the screen. We're really opening it up to new and kind of interesting things. The fact of the matter is that like Amy and Miguel have been crushing it lately. And so I really want to be sure that we're still keeping the challenge aspect of the Rayjet challenge intact. Yes, Fausto and Rambo, they're treetop treasures. Exactly. Thank you, Lev, has thrown it there in the chat so you guys can check it out.
So I do have something to show you guys that is design related that I use for this challenge specifically. I haven't used that so far, but it's pretty cool. So you guys know that if you use Illustrator, of course, I don't know where you can find that in Corel. If you have like an outline, right, a stroke, and you wanted to do this like wavy pattern that's pretty cool, and I put how do you pronounce that? Fluidly.
Yeah.
Fluidly. Yeah. On each side, what I did is that I clicked on the outline, I went to effect, and then I went to, where is it? Distort and transform in zigzag, right? So it can do a bunch of stuff, right? The zigzags. Also, it can make more ridges per segment, and it can make it smoother. There we go. So I created something like with, I think, 7. I think it was 7 or something like that, and you can change the sizes of the ridges, And this is all like an appearance. So after you click OK and you have something like that, you can just go and object expand appearance, and it becomes an outline. All right, so pretty easy. And I actually did just straight lines, so it would be more controlled. So just go there and zigzag again. So something like that. Less size, and I think was a little bit less ridges, fewer. That was it. So I just.
That's a really cool technique.
So the reason why I didn't do a square is because of the corners here, and so that's why I made a beholder. to do with this. This is you can do that. You can make the edges really well if you have patience, which is something that I normally don't. I am on the run, so I had like half an hour, 1 hour to design this. Yeah, cool technique for you guys out there. Other than that, everything else was just like pencil, hand drawing, and yeah, I didn't do much on everything else. It was the basics. This was the only one that had like an effect. I need files, bro. Okay. Shadow box. We didn't do a light box, did we? That's the shadow box he's talking about. We gotta do a light box.
I think it might be the shadow box.
Yeah. One of these days we have to do a light box.
Oh yeah.
Miguel, did you hand draw that dragon graphic?
I'm sorry?
The one that's on the squares? Did you hand draw that graphic that's on the squares?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
That's pretty cool, man.
I was actually doing another dragon, like a more detailed dragon face.
Yeah.
But it was not looking good instead of the beholder. It's like, you know what? The beholder is like much more rounder. Make a nicer core instead of a dragon, So.
That's really, really cool.
But there's a good chance that I'm actually going to make a piece. The king of the monsters will be a dragon. I'm going to do something like, there'll be the classes, right? The hero classes and the chess pieces on one side, and the other side is going to be the monsters. So the king is probably going to be a dragon. Then, yeah. I'm geeking out already. So
is Lev, I think. I have to ask you, though, so I don't know if you've given this much thought. Maybe this is a question for next week, but I was thinking about, like if you're going to make the chess pieces also from wood, or if you're sort of tempted to go towards doing them in another material.
And I'm going to do everything with wood.
Everything with wood?
Yeah, I like wood. So we can do with multiple shades of darkness in the woods.
Yeah.
And I already saw a style of cutting that I'm going to do. It's kind of how do you say that when you have like inlaid one into the other to look 3D? Does it have a name?
It's just like 3D, I guess.
Yeah, so basically it's like two 2D shapes inlaid one into the other.
Here.
With like a round.
I can show it. I have it right here, in fact.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I think this is what you mean. This is a piece from Etsy. Let me just blow this up and see.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll kind of like that.
Exactly.
Like one, yeah. So two kind of like silhouettes, almost in this case, sort of snapped into each other, and then with a base at the bottom.
Yes. Yeah. And believe it or not, since the ridge is pretty good for cutting, this is going to be way faster than what I'm doing right now. So I'm actually going to do the chess pieces only on the challenge. So, you guys can call me on that.
So Lev, I believe, has a really cool chess set that he wants to show off that he found on. Ooh, that's really beautiful. I don't want to make that full screen. Wow, that's just the board.
Oh, everything is inlaid.
Wow, they're like little Trivial Pursuit, like pie.
See, this is the kind of stuff that I think is cool, but as soon as I see that it's inlaid, I'm like, yeah, nah, thank you.
No,
It's gonna take 2
Lev
hours.
would never. Yeah. There's just no way. Oh wow, that's
Not
cool.
gonna
So
happen.
wait, did the video go away? There it is. So that laser is the the R500, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
That is gorgeous. We're
Wait,
hoping to do some.
Is that the R500 or? Yeah, it's the SP500.
That's the SP500.
Yeah, it's the SP500.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to be doing some more cool laser reviews coming up soon. I can't promise we'll be able to show off the SP500 right away, but I hope you guys are tuning into those sort of every couple of Fridays on our streams. They give a thorough run through of our different machines, and there are some really, really cool things that we can show you guys. Wow, that's gorgeous. Thanks, love.
Yeah, no worries. I just randomly searched laser cut chessboard and ended up being a Trotec customer. And I think they're in Holland.
We actually, my understanding is that Miguel suggested a fully inlaid chessboard, and I have a file photo of Lev when he heard that from Miguel.
That's basically every time that I come up with an idea, right? Like it's always too megalomaniac, and yeah, I gotta tone it down. Gotta do that in 1 hour.
Yeah, Miguel is the king of ambition.
As you can see, right? Like I'm on the second here, so if I for some reason mess this up, I just lose.
That is.
I just found it randomly. It's something that's really easy to do. I mean, it's just like laser cut and inlaid.
And this was something I wanted to talk to Miguel and Amy about. I love the way that this guy's approached it, where he has just sort of the slots cut into the board, because I think it answers that's madness. I think it answers a really tricky question of, how do you balance, like, having to build a base for each individual piece and make sure that they're balanced, make sure they're not going to fall over, make sure that they're like identifiable as the particular pieces. Like, Miguel, you were saying you're going to do monsters on one side and heroes on the other, but then how are you going to know, like, what's a bishop, what's a rook, what's a knight?
I'll make it work.
Gotcha. Okay.
By the way, did you guys
Miguel?
You could always have a little pamphlet on the side saying what each character represents.
Right?
A legend along the side of that.
you guys ever see this, by the way?
The vertical chest.
Yeah, the vertical
I
chest.
have seen this. Yeah.
Yeah, we partnered with Proto 3000, which is a 3D printer distributor in Canada, and they basically made these 3D printed chess pieces for us, and we've engraved a massive piece of acrylic on our SP500, and it was kind of like that slot that I just showed a second ago. So we basically, so that's just for decorations, but we've cut shelves, right here. So we cut shelving out of acrylic, and then we've basically inserted them into the shelf here, like that.
That's really
cool. Actually very easy to do. So you could have a vertical chess set.
I love seeing these videos of young Lev too.
I was going to say the same thing.
Prior to the stress of having to deal with us on the Rayjet challenge, before we wore away his morale. I was going to say too, there's a lot of, if you guys are going to build something in your Rayjet, like a smaller chess set, one thing you might consider too is looking at one of the previous streams that Miguel taught you how to make a box with hinges, and consider making like a traveling chess set. I don't know if there's a way that you can incorporate like a kerf into your board, or a hinge into your board, but making something that you could take with you places, or something that has a capacity to store your pieces, I think would also be a really, really cool application. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Miguel, you look like something is happening live.
Yeah, I'm just checking the sound. Checking the sound.
Okay.
Nothing is happening. Again, nothing can happen, because, as you know, I'm always, 30 minutes is...
It's a tight window. I want to bring that same question back to Amy then too. I don't know if you've given any thought sort of ahead of time to your chess pieces for next week. Had you considered like maybe what you plan to do?
Well, I have planned a few things, because if you actually read the sequel to Alice in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass, there is a scene where she actually plays chess.
There's a sequel?
There's a sequel, yeah. Through the Looking Glass.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that Disney adapted that part into the movie, I think, right? They took that from the second book.
Disney did a version of it, and there is chess pieces in the game, so it actually fits in with the actual traditional old chess pieces.
Oh.
But I'll probably Alice in Wonderland a bit.
Yeah, here's some of the. I have some of the original, like, I don't know if they're original illustrations, but the illustrations from around that time here. Yeah, they're from the.
because people know that Alice in Wonderland's in the public domain, but they do not know that Sir John Tenniel's illustrations for the original book wasn't in the public
Are you
domain.
going to show some design work just so we can see, like, well, like you could even show how you did this, just so we have more design, because right now we're just waiting for the laser.
Hey, Lev, we can fully hear you, my brother.
Yeah, I saw that, but just like just so we have something to show while we're doing it. If you want to show them how you did that from scratch, like, what do you think? Because right now we're sitting, we don't have too much content. Like just how to you could show them how.
You were saying about the Tenniel illustrations.
Yeah, they are not in the public domain. The story is, but the illustrations are not.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason?
I think they're actually owned by a private company.
Or perhaps his estate?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, obviously, they have made some really, really cool adaptations of sort of Alice in Wonderland iconography, even as a chessboard. Hold on. Let's see here.
Oh, I have
mean, it's nightmare fuel, but
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
yeah, very cool.
Nightmare Fuel for sure.
Yeah.
So
All
I
right.
gotta show you guys a little bit more about what I did. Like I said, it was pretty simple, but there's a couple things that you can do in Illustrator as well that I don't know if you guys know. So for instance, this board is 11.5 inches wide and high, right? However, to get a separation that is good, you know, not perfect but good, you can make some simple math on Illustrator. So come on, dude, please. Great. Okay, so for instance, you have a 2x2, right? If you make a longer thing, whatever, and you divide it by 8, right? So in this case, let me see, 14 divided by 8 becomes 1.75. So this is basically how I made the whole thing. It was dividing it and then copy pasting it until I could have 8, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. So every other one I would just make it white, and then lazily I would just go here and rotate it out and copy paste Control D. There we go. You have a chessboard in like a couple seconds, right? I think it's pretty easy. So I don't know how you did it, I mean, on Corel, but this is how I did on Illustrator.
Amy's almost looked as though she had kind of hand illustrated the board piece, or that had been like adapted from a vector.
I mean, it works as well. Ideally, the original chess, right, like chess in general, I think it has to be 2 inches, 2x2, as kind of the general size of a chessboard. But I had to make it smaller because size constraints and all that, right?
Totally. I was gonna say, the one other thing you always have to consider too, obviously, is how big your squares are going to have to be in order that you can plan for how big your pieces are going to be, right? I mean, like, you have to be sure that they're all going to be able to fit on the individual squares that are going to be, across the board, sort of thing. If you end up with a really small board, there's going to be no way for you to fit, big, gigantic, say, dragon pieces.
True. I that's why I wanted like a bigger board, but what can I say? What can I do? Next time we can do one in the 2000.
Are you running us really quickly how you adapted your chessboard in Corel?
Yeah, this is how I just did it. I just went online, found an image, took it onto Corel Draw, trace back image.
A quick trace, yeah.
Just do a quick trace. It's fine. It works. But the way that Miguel showed you is probably the best way of doing it.
It's actually not. Your way is the best way. Yeah, because somebody else already did for you. So you just have to put the time there. Yeah.
The other thing too is if Miguel's board doesn't fit, he has only Miguel to blame. Whereas
True.
How are you planning on adapting that?
Original lineage.
Are you just gonna engrave directly onto the block then?
I am, yeah.
Is it already going? It must be.
It's going.
Yeah,
It's
it
almost
has
done.
to be. It's
I'm
almost
very,
done.
It
like,
has to be done.
I'm very excited to see. This is like one of those
Yeah.
amazing.
Fingers crossed. It's
So-
almost halfway done.
Yeah.
So,
go
so you guys have an idea because let me see how long it will take to finish this. Oh my god, I think it's gonna take another. I don't know. 10 minutes. So here's the thing. I'm already. I regret doing the pink engraving because it's not only going extremely slow, but the difference is so. I don't know. It's so minimal that it's just not worth it, right? There are other ways out there to do what I wanted to do, probably, but I wanted to test something because this is a challenge, right? And if it always works, it's not a challenge. So yes, after this part is done, I'm gonna show you that why is that not worth it? God.
Well, in the meantime, I want to show you guys this piece from Etsy because I think it's something that I want you to bear in mind. Okay, here I am. This one is made entirely from cardboard, which means that the seller can make it at a really affordable price. But it's also been crafted, like I was saying, with a hinge directly in the middle, so that although all the pieces are like pretty robust and cool looking, it's able to be folded up and just carried with you wherever you go to all your like cool gatherings that you bring your chess set, and it can all be stored within the box itself, which I think is really, really cool. The way that this has been designed so that all of the bases fold down and sit inside of the box like this is so awesome. I feel like this will be like most. I feel like most board games, I never actually put them back into the box how they arrive when I get the board game. But at the same time, I think that is such an elegant solution for figuring out how to store. Because like Miguel's pieces that he was talking about, for example, have 3 pieces each, right? They're the 2 silhouettes that are sort of like locked together, and then the base. And unless you want to take them all apart, you run the risk of them getting, broken or bumped or whatever, let's say by a consumables manager who doesn't pay attention to where he's going when he walks through the room and knocks over the entire battle of Umi Ridge. I wanted to show you guys as well, just here on Etsy, there are a bunch of amazing chess sets done with laser. This one in particular I thought was cool because they've used, very similar to what Miguel did, like a cool sort of like patterned engraving to indicate the opposite squares. But I think it creates this
also
cool
layered.
Yeah, exactly. So that was what I was going to say, is it has this stacked thing to make a really, really cool effect at the end of the day, because it almost
Not
looks,
gonna lie, I wanted to do something like that.
yeah.
However, yes, but it's the 1 hour laser challenge, not
Yes.
the 2 hour laser challenge. So because of that, I was like, I took that out of my mind really quickly.
I should say too that don't forget, if you're considering doing designs like the ones that Amy and Miguel are doing now, and you have a really cool idea for a laser vector file that you've designed, don't hesitate to throw just the vector file up on Etsy. People will very happily pay good money to not have to go through the trouble that Miguel and Amy have had to do to painstakingly craft these chessboards for you guys.
No trouble at all. To be honest, the hardest part is actually the application part. That least to me, designing it's quite fun, but when it comes to the application part, it's really stressful to make sure that everything works before it looks good. And because of the challenge, I couldn't test it before, so I was like, gotta keep that.
Can I just add what you guys like? If you want to make it faster, you could put, let's say, all the black squares together in one, engrave those, cut them out, and then inlay them on top or inside like the main board. So that can actually save a whole bunch of time. You don't have to engrave the entire board altogether. I mean, if you're talking about mass producing these things.
Engraving always takes more time than cutting. That's just that, right? And if you're engraving 18 by 12, it's gonna take a while.
Yay!
Etsy, it's my friend.
I think
See, Amy, there's like a robo chess there, so people know which ones. Oh my God, my beholders! It flew away.
I think one of the other things to remember too is that I think like we're sort of indicating there's a lot of ways that you can do this. I mean, like if you look at, for example, that inlaid board that Lev was showing before, if you did a board that had space for, inlaid squares each time and then made the pieces the shape of the chessboard squares, you could literally just pick them up, drop them in, pick them up, drop them in like a really cool sort of inlaid way. Obviously, that would require a considerable amount of work, but I think it would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Even the easiest way to do it, you don't even have to engrave anything. You could take a dark wood, like a walnut, and a light wood, like a maple or something, and you don't even have to engrave. You could just cut the chessboard out, and like let's say if it's on a main MDF piece, you could just cut them and put them on top. That could take minutes to do instead of like a full hour. So I mean, you're showing boards there on Etsy that are like $80. I mean, even if you're using wood, that you like 2 or 3 pieces of wood with your time, you're looking at about maybe $30 worth of material and time spent, and for each chessboard, and you're selling those for $80. That's quite a profit you can make on each board.
Don't forget too that like we were talking about before, and we don't mean to just like divert while engraving today, but like the fact of the matter is there's a lot of cool ways to take the chessboard as like an article and then play with it. Like something like this that sort of uses like a 3-dimensional aspect. There's obviously actual 3-dimensional chess that you can make.
I don't even know how to play that.
3-dimensional chess is exactly the same as normal chess except for like Galaxy Brain. So it works exactly the same. It's just you have to consider, instead of being able to just look across one plane at all the moves, you have to consider it across multiple dimensions. I'm bad at it, is the thing. Even like a 3-player variation, right? Or the version that Lev was showing earlier with the sort of like circular orientation. There are so many cool things that you can do, just with chess as sort of a medium or as a canvas kind of thing, right? It's got such a rich like visual history that there's so much stuff that you can do.
I mean, for people that actually come here every week, how many times have I regret doing something during the challenge? Because I'm deeply regretting. Yes, every week probably, right? Like I'm deeply regretting putting two different colors with such a variation of speed for engraving, because the laser has to go and then go back and engrave it again, right? So if it was just black, for instance, if I was using just black for engraving, it would take roughly 18 minutes. But because I used another color, it's taking half an hour, 35 minutes. So there we go. And
Yeah,
I should have known that beforehand. But for some reason, I was like, no, man, this is going to work.
Laser chess. No, John, I was just going to quickly show this. This is what I was talking about. If you want to reduce your time, you could just cut. You don't have to engrave. I mean, the engraving is obviously for decoration, but I mean, if you're looking to do cool chessboards, you can actually, like, once you inlay these pieces, you can engrave, like, put it back in the laser machine and engrave an image right on top. Like, you can have a full crazy photograph or picture right on top of the chessboard. There's all sorts of stuff.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the sort of cool effects that you can achieve just by putting different colors of wood up against one another. Like you can do really, really cool, get really, really cool effects. I'm going to see if I can find something.
I think Keyway Designs use multiple wood colors, right? They do some cool stuff with like just wood. And they're doing phone cases and things like that. It's really, I think it's quite tricky for you to think about wood colors and design around it. Trickier than acrylic, at least for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so this is
such incredible stuff.
These guys are great on Instagram.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Look at that. Actually have to buy one of those soon. TM.
TM.
Miguel, do you
Oh my
actually
God.
play D&D?
Yeah, of course. Actually, my
Yeah.
DM is in the chat. I think he was talking to me that he was going to watch today. So, Papa, fala aí no chat se tu puder. So yeah, I just give a shout out. I don't know if he's watching that. So my DM, Dungeon Master. For those who don't play D&D, Dungeon Master is not a kink. It's actually the guy that runs the table.
Oh no.
You know? Yeah. So he tells a story with the players. And yeah, I play D&D and I play it online because most of my friends are in Brazil and I play with them through Discord or any other things out there. But you have like Roll20, you have a couple of apps out there that you can play online with friends.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
I'll show you guys a couple of cool applications really quick, if I may steal the screen here live really fast. This one's pretty small, but entire laser cut dress is done, but in very, very thin wood is why I wanted to shout that one out. Specifically though, when it comes to layering of multiple different colors of wood, just remember that you can get to a place where, the implication, like Miguel was talking about.
Look at that, Don. This is Philippe. The famous Philippe.
Yeah. What's up, Philippe?
They saw the coffee and bean video. They're like, this is pretty cool.
Did they like your new?
Actually, I gotta put the cut line. I forgot that.
Hold on, I want to show this.
Where is it?
This is the thing, is like,
And Mark the job.
Oh,
wood
wow.
is such a beautiful medium.
No. Crazy.
I mean,
That's
not.
amazing.
And then I was thinking, even for the chess pieces next week, in terms of like what Miguel's proposing is a very good way to do it on the 1 hour challenge, of course. But I think like when you start to use multiple pieces of wood or something else to create a 3-dimensional object, don't forget that there's a lot of stuff out there that you can do that is really, really incredible and really impressive. And that like you can tell a story with just the materials you use, not just because I'm the materials guy, but then also because, if Miguel wants to do, evil, monsters on one side of the board and heroes on the other side of the board, he can use a light colored wood for the heroes and a dark colored wood for the monsters and sort of get that point across automatically. You're playing boring D&D then. He can get that across. I feel like I was going to say that there can be monkeys in D&D. You can tell the story, that much more with the materials you use and the way that you choose to kind of put that thing across. You know what I mean? There's sort of no limitations. That's kind of the main thing I hope that we get across with these stream is that, I hate saying the phrase, the only limitation is your creativity. But like the fact of the matter is that, with a little bit of practice, Instagram is proof that like you basically can achieve really incredible things, even with a smaller laser, regardless of, what the limitation might see. Amy is literally making a chessboard without leaving her house right now. Hopefully she has enough cutting blocks around the house to be able to make the pieces next week. I can't promise that. Hello to Bangladesh. Very happy to have you watching, man. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, just ignore me for a second. I'm trying to fix something here. See,
no problem. But I am
it's
gonna make you
live.
explain-
Something always happens, man. Like something always happens.
I am going to make you explain later why you chose to go the way that you did. Because you were saying that there were some things that you would have changed, and I'm curious because I want people to be able to avoid. Listen, don't make our mistakes.
Yes. Don't do it. Okay. So what? Why did it even happen? Anyway, so now it's Gucci. Yes. Okay. Now I can go back to chat. All right.
Excellent.
So for some reason the cut line was not being recognized. So I just created a new file and it worked. So you see, sometimes I don't even know what stuff happens. Like everything was correct. I literally just created another file in Illustrator, copy and paste it, and it worked. So,
Wow.
yeah, there was nothing there to fix. Yeah, so why I kind of explained pretty quick, but I'm gonna do it again because well, this week I'm actually gonna finish this. Probably not in time for the stream, but in time for lunch. You know.
Yep.
So yeah, Lev is like
They're the real heroes.
yeah. Let this. So I'm gonna show you guys how it looks and why I would change what I did because it doesn't make that much of a difference. Another 10 seconds and can I show on my camera so I can
I think in the meantime, Philippe should tell us stories about when Miguel was young.
don't
Yes, please. But no profanity.
do not do that. There won't be any profanity. He's just going to be talking about all the times that he had fun with my mom, like just screaming at me across like 3 streets. So there.
All right, hold on. Let me make that the. Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why is that, as you guys can see, there is now much of a difference between this engraving and this engraving. But this engraving, the outer engraving, is kind of a third of the time of the inner engraving. So I was running the fleur de lis or something like that at 100% speed, while the outside I was running at 20% speed. So it took roughly the same time, and the difference minimal. So I wouldn't do that again. No, I would rather just cut another layer that is darker just to give the same effect.
I think the effect is nice though. It's just a shame it doesn't give you enough of a difference to make it worth the extra.
Yeah, the extra half an hour. No, it's not worth it. I mean, at least for the challenge, right? If you
Oh,
want
it's definitely
something,
deeper.
yeah, it is deeper. But
I have to ask you guys. I mean, maybe I don't mean to put you on blast, but is there a particular reason you chose not to mask the wood, either one of you, before putting it into the? I mean, Amy, I assume right now, like you look calm, you look, chill right now. You look like you're enjoying the stream. You've never engraved on this butcher's block before, like
No,
on the cutting board.
never.
So you're just
I've used other blocks before, but never this type.
How are you so calm?
Well, there's always
Just
the other
make it
side,
proud.
right?
And hope for
There's
the
always
best.
there's always the bottom side. No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Amy's thing.
Yeah, there's
It
always
doesn't work.
exactly. She can always just flip the cutting block over and engrave the other side.
but this is
It
how
could
it's
be
supposed
done
to
on the
look.
other side.
Right? And there will be like a
Beholder at the edge.
in each corner. So something like this. Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
That is really cool.
I know. I took my time this time.
We want you guys to know that Miguel always comes in mentally prepared. It's just, he feels like it's cheating if he doesn't let you guys see the design process. You know what I mean?
I just come here mentally prepared. Everything else is not prepared at all, and like a bunch of stuff happens during the stream. Yeah,
But that's
Right.
the whole point of the challenge. You know what I mean? Is that Miguel's got to come in and do the design in front of you guys. You guys have seen him trace 6 different dragons over the course of the last 3 months. This man is an artist.
that's true, man. I mean, not about the artist part, but the dragon part. I'm doing way too many dragons.
So I want to ask Amy really quickly. You mentioned that there were some people sort of locally who were asking you about products that they had seen you make on the stream.
Sorry?
Is that something that you, Lana, actively?
Yeah, we're not gonna finish. You can put it back, but then say we'll post it on Instagram.
Okay, Amy.
Yeah, I'm done.
Heard the voice of God there for a minute. Is that something you want to actively promote? Because I really think your design is really cool, but I want to be sure that people know Amy doesn't actually work for Trotec. Amy is here out of the goodness of her heart and because she's incredibly talented, and we really appreciate that she's here because she is a great addition to the stream. But the fact of the matter is that if you guys want to learn more about Amy's great work, don't forget to visit Mischief Pop, MISS Chief Pop on Instagram. Do you have any other cool things? Is there any secret stuff coming up soon?
No, it's just Instagram up to now.
I like your Instagram, so that feels like more than enough, I gotta say.
Oh, it was so much fun to do. The flowers, pop-up flowers, and the MDFs.
If you guys are in the UK, because again, like Miguel and I are in Canada. If you guys are in the UK, do not hesitate to reach out to Amy on Instagram if you have. I hope I'm not overpromising it, but if you have questions or if you see something she loves and you'd like, or if you see something she's made and you love it and you'd like, her to look at potentially doing something for you, like don't hesitate to reach out. Amy's awesome.
I've had a few people ask questions about how I've done certain things on the live streams, and I try my best to answer what I can from what I know. So yeah, don't feel afraid to ask me.
I'm actually sad about that. I don't know because I don't have a personal Instagram or something like that. But nobody comes to me to ask questions about that.
I come to you all the time, and you're like,
Miguel, how did you make that?
Well, that's the thing. Like, Miguel is surrounded by people who know at very least the basics of how to use a laser, whereas like Amy, you're out there. Do you still get people asking like, "What do you mean you have a laser?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, what
I get those questions. What do you mean? What can it do? I still ask myself that still today. What can this laser do?
I hope
with these challenges of pretty much anything.
I want to know from you guys again, if you get a chance, definitely bit.ly/laser challenge, submit some ideas for the end of the year. We have some cool plans coming forward here into the holiday season. I know that today was a lot of engraving, and these guys are going to be posting up some cool stuff going forward here on Instagram with the finished designs. Unfortunately, there's no way that we can, do the level of quality that we want to do and necessarily speed it up too much. But hey, there's Miguel's like basically finished board more or less. Hold on.
Do you know what? I think Miguel saved the live stream today because I don't think mine will be finished until.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that you have to be.
Yeah, another 10 minutes.
You have to start planning or a hour. Gingerbread house. Yeah, don't laugh.
The gingerbread house is going to be coming up.
Yes.
Gingerbread house is going to be coming up. I have some like secret plans that I want to discuss with Lev to challenge these two. I'm thinking about potentially trying to make them do, excuse me, like I forget what the technical name for the style is called, but where one of them starts a design and then passes it to the other one, and they do another piece of the design and then they pass it back. I want to make the two of them work together instead of as enemies across.
We're not enemies.
Rivals, anime rivals. And I think also one thing, and I'm so glad that Lev. Okay, I'm so glad that Lev showed off Amy's Instagram there really quickly, because I really think we should revisit the 80s pet theme for the end of the year. I know that Miguel has wanted to redeem his 80s pets. I know that Amy crushed the 80s pets originally.
Am I muted?
No, you're good. You're good. Go for it.
So yeah, I'm just saying that no, I don't want to redeem myself at all. I don't know who said that.
You said
I don't want to do 80s pets again. What?
I think we should revisit 80s pets. I think there's a way to make it. I think we should make Lev do a week. I think there are a lot of cool ideas that we have for the Laser Challenge coming forward.
That's true. Wait, my birthday's next. No, it's January, right? It's in November. It's in January. So who's gonna? I mean, I'm already here. So what can I be? I was already a host.
I think you get your choice. I think you can be producer. You could be Amy that week. You can take whichever chair. You can take whichever chair you like.
I can be Amy. I can actually be productive. Yeah. I can be host, and you and Lev do something. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
So far, this is it, right?
Behold.
This is how it looks.
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
That's really wicked.
Right? Yeah. So there's another part coming on the laser, but unfortunately you won't be able to finish that before the 1 hour. I mean, it's in like 4 seconds. But we're going to post that on Instagram. And next week, we're going to do the pieces, right? And they're all going to be thematic. And I'm going to find a way to make sure that you know what each one of those are. I will.
Well, I don't know if Miguel saw it, but Lev was asking Philippe to make suggestions for
he's shy. He's not gonna do that. And also, I like him.
Also, I'll destroy him if he does that.
Yeah.
could totally do something Alice in Wonderland themed with chess pieces.
Yeah, I was just saying, what kind of chess pieces do we want to create? Miguel, did you already kind of visualize what chess pieces, like what are the pawns going to be? What are the rooks? What's going to be your queen?
The queen. Actually,
Beyonce.
Nah. I mean, for the monsters, I think the queen can be either like the ice queen, or something like Fae. I don't know if you guys know that of all D&D or the monsters and things like that. I can just come at Lev is just like, no, I don't.
You can teach us.
Your rooks are going to be a dragon.
Rooks are going to be castles, I assume.
Yeah, I don't know. Castles? I was thinking about goose.
What about
like
Amy?
zombies.
Do you have a queen? I guess for Amy, a queen is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's going to be more
like the Queen of
stylistic
Hearts
rather than like completely different. It's good.
Amy, do you know already who you're gonna?
I'm gonna do the Queen of Hearts, Mad Hatter, the Rabbit. I'll figure out which one goes for which.
This is a lot to ask. I love Amy's rabbits that she draws on Instagram. If you could make your pawns as bunnies, I feel like that'd be cool.
Amy, can I make a special request?
Yeah, go for it.
Can you put one of the pieces as the shisha smoking caterpillar?
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one.
That's my favorite character.
And with that, listen, if we get a call later, I'm glad that Lev said that. Hold on, I just wanted to. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys sticking around this week. This week is sort of a special one again. The first, where is Johnny? Johnny, please come back.
Johnny, please.
Amy needs you as like a. Yeah, okay. There he is. I had a picture ready to go as well.
Okay.
Wow, we're just gonna show this Disney movie right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get DMCA. Don't do that.
We're gonna get DMCA, my man. On behalf of Miguel and Amy, and of course the ever popular Lev, I just want you guys to know we really appreciate you watching this week. We will be back, of course, next week. This is our very first two-parter, so I think it's like a really cool opportunity to do some more like exciting stuff in the future. Definitely let us know what you want to see. Though, like I said, we got gingerbread houses, we got maybe a return to 80s pets if I can convince Miguel. We got some cool stuff in the future. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Any final thoughts?
Yeah. What's in the past is in the past. Let's think about the future.
The future, okay. 90s pets.
This is like how would that even go? Like jeans upon jeans and a pet?
Maybe yeah, exactly. Some flannel pets.
Yeah, no.
I'll get.
Wait, why are you dissing flannel, man? Like I use flannel to this day.
I'm not dissing it. It's just 90s. It's 90s. Listen. Take care, Ratna. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys again next week. Same time as always. Definitely, if you decide to do the challenge yourself, post it up on Instagram. We absolutely want to see it. Amy is at Mischief Pop, MISS Chief Pop on Instagram. Miguel and I you can find at Trotec Canada on Instagram. Reach out, and we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.